All right, what's up, guys? This is Ben with Tactical Nutrition, where we are cutting through the matrix. I just want to help you guys be the healthiest version of yourselves. Got some good nutrition topics today. As you can see, I'm updating, slowly upgrading the podcast setup here. Move the camera back a little bit more so you guys can see I actually got a mic. This isn't some 2-bit operation. Anyway, I'm going to title this video just Healing Nutrition, which can sound kind of vague. But these are several particular nutrients and supplements, molecules, if you will, that help to actually heal your body, like directly. Because you could say that, giving yourself adequate protein and eating plenty of fruits and vegetables, will heal your body if you've been, and that is true. But these are actual molecules and nutrients that I will explain in a little bit more detail exactly how they will heal your body energy-wise, your body's energy production systems, which would be the mitochondria in your cells, your heart, your brain, and all the other systems involved. Now, hormones is another one, a whole nother thing. I'll have to do one on adrenal fatigue in the future, but so without further ado. So the first one I want to talk about is CoQ10. So CoQ10 is a common supplement for a lot of people. And what it does is it actually is it's a vital nutrient that can be found in foods, but a lot of times it's better to get through supplementation because a lot of these nutrients, you have to eat a huge variety of foods, which is why I say supplements can be a super weapon, because if you're not eating these foods regularly, and it's very easy not to know what foods you need, then you become deficient and then your body has problems. And one of the main things I want to do is keep you guys out of the medical system. That is one of my main goals with my clients. I'll do other videos on that, but I mean, it's expensive. Oftentimes you get misdiagnosed. They don't know anything about nutrition generally. You get up on a bunch of drugs, and there goes the vicious spiral. But anyway, going back to CoQ10. So CoQ10 actually targets the mitochondria in your cells. So if you go back to basic biology, and I think we all learned about this in school, but each of your cells, for the most part, around your body have certain organelles on the inside. The ribosomes, the nucleus, the lysosomes, whatever. But mitochondria is one of the main ones. And with the mitochondria, that's where energy production in the cell actually happens. So it's like the battery powerhouse of the cell. And mitochondrial damage, and this is something, again, you can look up, like I usually say. I'm not here to bring individual studies. This is one of those podcasts, but you can look up mitochondrial damage and learn more about it. Comment below if you know more about this. You can help someone else in the comments. But the mitochondria is where the energy production happens. Oftentimes, I think, now it's been a long time since I actually looked at the individual processes, because you've got oxidation, anaerobic, aerobic, the proton pump system, but which is like a recycling of hydrogen. But you don't need to know any of that stuff. You can look it up yourself. Maybe I'll do a video more in depth. But so coenzyme Q10 is necessary to repair the damage to your cells, and which is going to happen no matter what you're doing. No matter what, your cells all around your body, including your brain, are going to have wear and tear. It's just part of life, and slowly it breaks down. We call that aging. So coenzyme Q10 is a great supplement to take. I have it. I take it regularly. And then there's nitric oxide, which I talk about a lot in videos. This is a different type of animal. So your body naturally creates nitric oxide. It's what dilates your blood vessels and your airways. So it's a super nutrient in just that regard. And You can take it exogenously in the form of L-citrulline, ornithine, and I think arginine. So I have another product I take called Nightworks. I don't take it all the time, but I love to take it. And the reason it's called Nightworks is because you're supposed to take it before you go to bed. And that's when your body's doing most of its healing. So what happens is, like, I mean, think about this. High blood pressure, right? Why is high blood pressure bad? Well, A, you can have strokes, but also it makes your heart work harder. When your veins and arteries are narrower, should we say, not dilated, constricted through various things, then your heart has to work harder, so it's just not good for your heart over time. So nitric oxide opens up that garden hose effect, makes it easier for your heart to pump. There's more oxygen in each pump as well. And then this shuttles things into the cell. So that's one of the main things about nitric oxide is allowing that greater blood flow is going to allow nutrients to travel around the body a lot easier. And so that's a great supplement as well. Plus, nitric oxide, they say, is about 1,000 times more effective as an antioxidant than vitamin C. And if you really want to know what antioxidants are, they're going around finding free radicals in your body and neutralizing them. Then your body gets rid of them. That's how the antioxidant systems work. So if you've got a heavy metal or a misfigured protein floating around the blood, and this happens to all of us naturally, the more unhealthy you are, the more it'll happen. It's called the free radical damage. The antioxidants will actually attach and then like basically neutralize those free radicals. Nitric oxide, I guess, can be recycled too. So a very amazing nutrient. Then there's, what was I going to say? DHA and EPA. Now those are, and also krill oil. These are basically your essential fatty acids. The reason I call them a healing nutrient is because they're good for your brain, and all your cells are made out of fat. All of your cellular membranes are made out of a phospholipid bilayer, which is just a fancy way of saying a fatty layer that separates the inside of the cell from the blood. And then nutrients find their way through there. But so depending on what kind of fat you're consuming, that's what your cells are generally going to make the cell wall out of. So if you're eating trans fats and rancid fats and, stuff from McDonald's, seed oils, etc., your body is going to actually make the cell wall because they have to recuperate and make those cell walls. That's also one reason why your body fat can only go so low for like men. Like you shouldn't go below like 5% body fat normally, which is hard enough to get to. But fitness competitors oftentimes will drop to 3% for a day or two, but you never want to stay there because part of that is that, all of your cells are made of fat. So you need fat. Anyway, so krill oil is especially good. I take a krill oil supplement. It's Neptune krill. As my old buddy Cliff would say, that's what the whales eat. So literally, it's kind of interesting that, a gigantic whale is just consuming. I know they eat fish too, but a big part of what they eat is just this krill. And it's an especially potent, I guess I've heard that it's somewhere around like 50 times more concentrated than fish oils, than just normal fish oils. And it's basically what fish eat eventually down the food chain. So it's going right to the source. So Neptune krill oil is a great thing. And more than anything, it helps your brain. And so these fish oils, and I mean, the studies are ambiguous, but I notice firsthand, they help with your mental function. So they've been known to help with your sleep, with depression, anxiety, any type of mental instability, right? And if you go out in public these days, you'll see that there's a lot of mental instability. So I wanted to talk one thing about cholesterol. So, and goes into it, and this is not medical advice, of course, disclaimer, but a lot of people are on statins, which is one of the worst drugs out there. And this whole cholesterol myth, this is just one of those things where they're so far behind. There's even studies that have shown that the higher your total cholesterol is, the longer lifespan. But basically, the whole thing was a MacGuffin in order to instigate the entire statin industry, which is massive industry for pharmaceutical companies. But here's what I mean here. I digress. Cholesterol is needed to heal your cells as well. It's a natural, it's one of these things, it's healing the cell from the inside, especially your brain. So what happens with people on statins oftentimes is they end up with over time, brain damage. Well, it's blocking your body in a certain way from being able to heal the cells. So that's why I want to talk about cholesterol and statins. But, that's about it. Actually, there's a lot. Oh, Resveratrol. That's the last one. I didn't have it written down. But Resveratrol, that's what they used to say. If you drink a glass of red wine, it's good for you because of the Resveratrol. But I don't. There's better ways to get it. Through cranberries, grapes, blueberries, actually pistachios as well. But Resveratrol is another super antioxidant. And so all these things, all these antioxidants are scavenging around your body, getting rid of this trash. That's basically what's going on, in layman's terms. So anyway, guys, if you want to look for good supplements for health, then that's what I recommend is Nitric Oxide, CoQ10. And I know that after a while, some of these can get a little expensive. But I still think it's worth it, or it's worth it to find foods that help to create these nutrients. For instance, nitric oxide, beets, I know are one food that helps. Olive oil. That's how I got off the top of my head. But there's other foods. There are some other vegetables, leafy green vegetables, that help your body produce nitric oxide. But so beets is one of those things where I used to post photos on Facebook when I use Facebook about and I would riddle people and say, well, this is my pre-workout today, and it'd be beet juice. I wouldn't have anything, so I'd pick up the beet juice on the way to the gym, and then I'd actually add the Nightworks, so the nitric oxide inside the beet juice, and it's crazy how it works. It literally dilates your blood vessels while you're working out. So, anyway, guys, short video, but these are the supplements are so useful if you find good ones. And the company I work with has some of the best, and I've seen them work so many times with people. But that's about all I got for you. I like to keep these videos under 15 minutes. If you have any suggestions for the setup, or if you want longer videos or shorter, or if I'm doing something stupid, I'm trying to grow the channel again. So leave a like, subscribe, all that. But just leave a comment below if you have anything to say about any of your other go-to nutrients or supplements that heal your body. Because there's a bunch I didn't list off here, but I didn't want the video to go too long. Things like aloe, shiitake mushroom, rhodiola root, dandelion root, a lot of roots, a lot of herbs. But anyway, I'll keep it there. Won't go off on another tangent. Check out the website, tacticalnutrition.net. It's actually under construction right now, being updated. But that's where I do all my programs, nutrition coaching. You can shoot me an email if you have any questions about supplements or the programs themselves. I'd be more than happy to help you. Or if you just got a question, doesn't have to be anything about buying a product or anything. But anyway, that's the video, guys. I will see you in the next one.